Hi everyone, welcome to Anna's Nail Advice, our new series where you guys send me pictures of your nails and I help you to understand what's going on with your nails, do a bit of an investigation on what's going on, and give you an advice on how to make them look better, how to make them healthier. So in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how to care for ridgy nails, because I have a lot of people sending me pictures with nails that have ridges and nails that have surface damage. So first of all, we are going to talk this time kind of hopefully very quickly about why the nails are ridgy, because it's important to understand why this is happening, because of understanding of that will help you to correct it. Second, we're going to talk about why the nails with ridges are more prone to nail damage. Then we are going to talk about 5 different ways to improve the surface of the ridgy nails. So, and we're going to go from the cheapest, the easiest method to a little bit more expensive. And I'm going to put a disclaimer. Please remember, obviously, that general health, hormones, nutrition, everything else has a huge impact on how your nails are, on the health of your nails. Definitely diet, which is rich in protein and good oils, is very, very important. But please don't jump on, supplements wagon right away. And a lot of people are very quick to advise a lot of supplements, which I try really not to do on this channel, because the role of this channel is how to improve the nails cosmetically, right? So this is not advice about your health, and obviously I cannot diagnose any type of nutritional deficiency, especially over the internet. I mean, this is a big topic, but my role here is to figure out how to help your nails from more of a cosmetic way, and sometimes to investigate why this is happening, because sometimes the clues are there, but people just don't know about them. So sometimes, a bit of an investigating on my end really, really helps as well. And also, speaking of health, a general health, I will include a link to a very quick kind of explanation on how very, very simple thing like a light exposure benefits general health. And the link is to Andrew Huberman. He's a neuroscientist, and the information that he provides, it was life-changing when it comes to general health. It's mind-blowing, and I'm not exaggerating, okay? So the link is going to be to Instagram. If you have Instagram, you can check it out. It's like a 10-minute presentation or something, even less. If you don't have Instagram, I'm gonna look for something on YouTube for you to see. But please, 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 life-changing. And I know it has maybe not that much to do with nails, although it does, because our bodies are a whole. You cannot address sometimes one thing without addressing another thing. So please, when you have time, if you have time, read this information or listen to that information. Okay, let's go to the video. Okay, so this is our viewer with her nails, and as we can see, the nails have ridges, and we see some surface damage. And we'll see what she's saying. I use Essie, Sally Hansen, Zoya, and OPI nail polishes, regular polish, not gel. I also tried Sally Hansen's Salon Therapy polish with argan oil. By the way, argan oil is not some amazing new thing. It's just an oil, has fancy names, so people just go for it. So don't go for it. I do use SC Gel Couture Top Coat. And as a base coat, I have been using Maxis with amino acids and tea tree oil. I have been using Zoya 3-in-1 polish remover, and remove my polish on Saturdays, do a quick shaping, and use the blue Sally Hansen cuticle remover with a wood stick. I rest my nails free of products overnight and polish them again Sunday night for the week. And she uses CeraVe, I guess a little bit more often. And she works in school using hand sanitizer, which obviously it's not that great. So it looks like she's doing everything right. The only thing is that I'm curious is if she's buffing the surface of the nail at all, because I really don't recommend any buffing when it comes to natural nails. And I know shellac is a little bit different. When you see my shellac videos, you see some buffing, but that's a different story. I explained that in a video. But generally for natural nails, for nail polish, you don't need to do any buffing. And another thing that I wanted to make sure that you know of is the cuticle remover that you're using. Any cuticle remover is very, very alkaline, and it's designed to break down the cuticle, the skin. So if it breaks down the skin, it breaks down the nail as well. So just be careful with it. And I personally, the Sally Hansen cuticle remover is very good too. I like using the Blue Cross. They're both good. Don't throw away whatever you have, but maybe consider trying the Blue Cross. It's super cheap and very effective. So what I suggest in this case is especially with Blue Cross, because it's so quickly acting, is doing it, putting it on one hand and putting only in the area of the cuticle. So don't put it on the whole nail. You don't need it there. So you just need it in this area to soften the skin, and leave it on for however long the package says. I think this the Sally Hansen says 2-3 minutes or something. No, I think it says a minute. Blue Cross is a minute as well. So leave it on for a minute. Then, super important, rinse it off. Okay, so just do one hand, leave it for a minute, rinse it off. Push back the skin, the proximal nail fold, remove the cuticle. Once that's done, then apply the cuticle remover on the other hand. Wait a minute, however long they say you should leave it on, and push back the proximal nail fold, remove the cuticle. And just so make sure that you wash it off, because you want to, in my videos you also see that I neutralize it with water. I really wipe that off the nail, because you don't want that on the whole surface of the nail, and left on the skin can be quite irritating. These are the two things that I wanted to kind of mention reading this information. Now let's look at the surface. Let's talk about the surface, and let's talk about the ridges. So I made another video, which I'm going to link below as well, about ridgy nails, why the ridges are happening, but very quickly in this video I'm going to explain. So the nail grows in this area. So this is the matrix area. Matrix is like the root of the nail. So the nail is growing from here, it grows out, down. So the nail does not grow from underneath up, it grows from the root down. So in this area, sometimes, for some reason, the cells are just not building the nail properly. And sometimes the cells are just maybe a little unhealthy, maybe a little malnourished or tired or something, and they are just not making enough nail in those areas. And those areas then become like concave almost, these little areas. So same thing with this little area, you can see that this is lower. So with ridges, it's not that we have more nail in this area or more nail in this area. We actually have less nail in this area. You can see it here too. So this is like a concave area. We have less nail, and it almost the surface looks almost like an accordion. So it's almost like a corrugated appearance to the nails. So absolutely do not buff them, because if you buff the surface, then you are reducing the whole thickness of the nail to that weak area, and then you have the whole nail that's weak. So the reason why, so this, now you know why the nails have ridges. It's just they grow that way, and for some reason, sadly, very sadly, these nails, they're more prone to surface damage, because this area, it's almost like it's creased. And anytime you have crease and the surface is not very smooth, these areas catch, and they're very, very easy to split, and the cells are very, very easily, they're coming apart. This is why the nails are more prone to damage than very smooth nails. So somehow, I think what's going on is the cells of the nail are just not bonded together very, very strongly, very tightly. So it's very easy for these cells to just break down and come apart. So nails are built from keratin, little building blocks, cells, and they're held together by lipids, by oils. So it's very, very important to make sure that we don't strip these oils from the nail, because then the nail is going to become flaky, which means not that you have extra nail, it's just the top layers of the nails are falling apart because they have nothing sticky to keep them together. So that's why it's so important to not removing these little flaky areas, but they are there to make us understand that, hey, something is happening to the surface of the nail. Let's help the nail, let's not remove it, because that makes things worse. And also, the top layer of the nail is usually the strongest, it's the tightest. So what happens is, if we remove that top layer of the nail, then you're filing into more like a spongy, more delicate layers of the nail, and those layers are even easier to be damaged. So, and when that happens, sometimes people say, well, I just buff it once a week or something. But the thing is, this is about 5 to 6 months growth. So if you buff it once a week, then you've buffed it like 20 times. And even if you remove 1 or 2 layers with each buffing, that's like half of your nail being removed, right? So it's really, really important not to buff it, especially when the surface is so prone to damage to begin with. So now, how do we improve the surface of the nail? So first of all, it is very important not to strip the oils, like I mentioned, and to prevent too much water exposure. Because what water is doing to the nails, think of the nails as little sponges. They absorb after they are soaked in water for about 60 seconds. So hand washing is not as bad. Soaking is really worse, like when it comes to baths and things like that. Every time you soak the nails in water, they absorb a lot of the water. They're like I said, like little sponges. When the nail dries out, it shrinks back. Again, absorbs water, shrinks back. That movement, think of sponges when you're doing dishes. They get damaged very quickly because all that movement, that absorption of the water and the expansion of the nail and then drying the water out and shrinking of the nail, all that eventually, that movement is going to damage the surface of the nail and cause more cracks. So the most important is less water exposure and not stripping the nails of the protective oils. So again, using very, very gentle hand soaps. I'm not a huge fan of sanitizers whatsoever. To me, not a good idea. That's a topic for another video. But gentle hand wash, and I prefer the CeraVe facial washing gel because it has very, very gentle detergents that don't disrupt the skin and nails as much. So I'm going to link this below as well. How to improve the surface of the nail. We're going to discuss it from the easiest way to the most kind of complicated, which is not too complicated. So first, oil, oil, oil. Like you can do so much with just applications of oils. So the best oils would be jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, avocado oil, even sunflower oil. So it really, there is no magical, you know, what they call cuticle oils, which are, they should be called nail and skin oils, because we are removing the cuticle and what we are treating is the nail and the skin, right? So repeat after me, nail and skin oil. So there is no magic to those oils. They are sometimes, you know, nicely fragrant and nice colors and all that, which helps people to use them more often. But if you're in the kitchen just rub in some whatever oil that you have, it will help the nails. Applying tiny amount of oil every time you wash your hands really, really helps, because again, as we wash our hands, we strip all the oils, we add water, and you have to replace those oils every time you wash your hands, and that's the trick. So applying the oil once a day, I mean, yes, it's great, but if you wash your hands 20 times, it's really not going to. It's like one step forward, 20 steps back, right? So definitely using oil more often, and small amount, because very often people put so much oil and then they're like, oh my God, my fingers are so greasy. So yeah, no, just literally one drop of oil is enough for 10 nails. So just kind of spread it all around, rub it into the skin and just go, and put it next to your sinks, little bottle of oil, and just use it all the time. That's going to really, really help. And how is it going to help? It's going to actually absorb into the nail plate eventually. It takes time, so that's why repeat use is so important. So over time, the nail will soak into the oil will soak into the nail, and it will help to prevent so much water absorbing into the nail. It will help to retain enough water that's coming from the nail plate, so from underneath. So it kind of seals in, think of it. Also think of oil as a plasticizer. So even if you're using nail polish, it still helps to a degree the coating, and it still helps the nail where the nail is growing, right? In this area, and it's helping the skin. The thing that helps with oils is if you have really damaged surface, using a warm oil soaks. So what you can do is you can just add a little bit of oil to a little dish, put that dish into a hot water and stand it in a hot water and just soak your nails in it. Once a week for a few minutes, the heat is going to make the oil absorb more into the nail plate. And you want to go with oils, not the coconut oil necessarily, because I know people love coconut oil, but sweet almond oil, jojoba, they're smaller molecules, they absorb better into the nail. Okay, so the oil soaks, very important. You can do this super cheap, even, you know, any oil that you have in your house, you can do that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about that helps with the surface of the nail is products that I've discussed in the past called RescueRx, and it's made by C&D. Here, the Beyond Polish sells it. So what is RescueRx? They call it daily keratin treatment. Keratin is great and all, but it really doesn't do that much to the nail, but I'm going to discuss. It's a very interesting product in a second. It's not a oil, so don't think of it as just an oil, another oil, and that's what I thought initially, but it's not just an oil. It's actually an emulsion, so it's a mixture of oil and water, with some emulsifiers. And this is working on improving the surface of the nail. So you want to use this product on a naked nail, and you want to rub it into the nail, preferably once a day. So now let's look at the ingredients, because they're quite interesting. Okay, so when you are looking at the ingredients, it says that it has the keratin, but it also has another ingredient that's very interesting. And I actually consulted a chemist about it. So this is, I'm not that smart. I've learned that from a chemist. So it does have ingredient that's called modified polyamidamine. So I'm not sure if I'm reading this correct, if I'm pronouncing this correctly. So this ingredient is a form of polymer which serves as a carrier for the active ingredients. And the active ingredient would be the keratin, the hydrolyzed keratin. But even hydrolyzed keratin does not really penetrate skin and nails because the molecule is too big to penetrate the nails. And as I spoke, in the past, people gravitate towards these things because they think, okay, keratins, the nails are made of keratins, so I'm applying keratins, so I'm strengthening the nail. That's not how things work, because that's like thinking that rubbing a chicken breast on your thigh, it's going to make you grow muscle because it has protein, lean protein, right? But that's not how it works. You kind of have to eat that chicken breast, and then you have to exercise in order to break down the muscle, but whatever, how it works, right? It's more complicated than that. Same thing with an oil. Oil is not going to, applied on the surface of the skin, is not going to make you fat. Again, that's not how things work. Applying keratin on the nail that's made of keratin is not going to make more keratin or fix the keratin. But so keratin is a conditioning and moisturizing ingredient. So that's really how this works. And that ingredient, that modified polyamidamine, what it does, it bonds to the surface of the nail with the hydrolyzed keratin. So that's how it helps the surface of the nail. So it bonds to the surface of the nail, reinforcing that surface of the nail. So it has to be applied directly on the surface of the nail. Applying it over the polish, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so this is how this product works, and I personally like it. It has a very, very nice light smell. It's not too greasy. I have clients that really, really liked and see a benefit of it. So I definitely recommend. It's not that expensive. It's like $10 or something. So again, just rubbing it every day or twice a day on the surface of the nail, it really, really helps. Or you can also use it even if you are wearing polish. So at the end of the week, remove the polish, rub this in a couple times, and then in the next day, for example, give your nails a break and then put some oil for a day or overnight, and then repolish your nails the next day. It should also help this way as well. Okay, another thing that I wanted to talk about, another interesting product that I wanted to talk about, is the Carousel. Carousel, I love Carousel foot cream, and it really is very, very good product that makes a huge difference. But this product is it's a liquid. So they say it's, obviously for fingernails and toenails, and they say it's for psoriasis, fungus, and blah, blah, which, it's still a cosmetic. I don't think it's a medication. I would not make any claims when it comes to curing any diseases. But I've heard opinions of few people that have used it, and they do find that it makes a difference. So, and I personally don't have experience with this product because I don't have weak nails or damaged nails, but the ingredients suggest that it would work. The ingredients are urea, glycerin, and lactic acid. So you would apply, it's a clear liquid that you would apply on the whole surface of the nail, initially twice a day, and after a couple of weeks they say, thin layer twice a day for first week, and then once a day after. Now, it is going to possibly help the existing surface of the nail, but it's going to help the new growth. So you're going to have to use this for at least 8 weeks, they're saying, which makes sense. It's 2 months, so you will see some growth in the meantime. Full results, you would have to use it for like 3 to 6 months. So until the whole nail grows out. It's not going to, because they say gel manicure damage, it's not going to fix the damage, but it's going to help the new growth, and it might reinforce maybe the nail or hydrate a little bit more the existing nail. There was a lot of good reviews, and I would definitely consider that especially if you're not wearing nail polish on the nails. And another product that is very interesting is this one. It's called Derma Nail, and I've had few people that used it, and I've heard quite a few good reviews from people that I did know of people, right? So it's called Derma Nail, and it's a liquid that you would drop on, not on the whole surface of the nail, that you would drop in the cuticle area, so where the nail is growing. So this one has mandelic acid, and this would be alpha hydroxy acid. I have no idea how this works, but apparently it does work. It has just few very simple ingredients, but again, used for a very long time, like 3 to 6 months. Sadly, you're not going to see a huge difference after 1 or 2 weeks. It's working on the new growth, so you're not going to see the ends being fixed or anything like that, but you will see that the new growth is a little bit smoother and a little bit healthier. So again, I've seen some good pictures. I've seen people that are using this product, but please be patient with it. It also comes with some kind of a emollient cream for, you know, obviously it's not the cuticles, actually dry cracked hands and feet, washed hands, dry brittle nails, and cuticles. Okay, not cuticles, but the skin around the nails. I know you guys know by now if you're watching the channel. And dry skin associated with psoriasis, eczema, and more. So it has a nice emollient cream that comes with it, which will definitely help the skin and the nail as well. I was considering buying this product, but again, this has to be used for such a long time, and I can't really tell if it's working or not, because again, I don't have damaged nails. It's a good problem to have, but so this is why I don't have experience with it. The good thing about this product is that I guess it could be used with if you're wearing nail polish, right? So it has to be used twice a day, and so I would use it like in the morning and at night. So put it near your bed or something so you don't forget to use it. And yeah, it makes sense. You could use it if you're wearing a nail polish. Okay, so this is the fourth thing that I would recommend for the poor peeling ridgy nails. And the fifth thing that I would consider, but again, it's something that you would do as an addition to oil. So don't think that now you don't have to care for your nails, that this is going to be some magical treatment. It's not, but it really helps. So it's called IBX treatment, and I've talked about it, and quite a few people were interested in how it works. Okay, so I have a video about it. Okay, so this is the video of me using the new infrared lamp and doing the IBX treatment, explaining how the treatment works. So how long is the video? Okay, 24 minutes, because I talk a lot usually, but I explain step by step how this works and how the lamp works. So it is a treatment that you would do in a salon. So the actual treatment takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It's not a big deal. And the salons usually probably couple it with the manicure, or they might be able to do the treatment on its own. You know, it does work. The way it works is, again, if you want to see the whole thing, watch the video, but the way it works is it's a oil-based product that it has other ingredients, not just the oil, and you put it on the nail and you put heat over the nail, and the product soaks into the first layers of the plates, and then you cure those ingredients into the nail. So you're not curing it on top of the nail, you are curing it into the nail, and it just stays there. So it doesn't look like you have anything done on your nails, but it kind of bonds the top layer surface together. And it's very, very good for especially nails like that. Ridgy nails and dry nails and nails that kind of flake a lot. It's not very good for like a physical damage after, it's not going to fix damage, let's say, of overfiled nails or anything like that, although it will help to keep whatever is left together. Right? So again, it's a 10 to 15 minute treatment. If you go on the IBX website, I'm going to actually look for it and see if I can find direct link of maybe a list of salons that offer it. It should be between $10 to $15 or euros for treatment without a manicure. And you know, now you know how to do a manicure. I would suggest, I hate to say it, you know, sorry guys, sorry salon owners, nail technicians, but so many people had such bad results with manicures. I would just do my own manicure, very gentle manicure, and just go to the salon for just the treatment without any manicure, and they should be able to do it. I would recommend this treatment, you know, initially maybe once a week for a couple of weeks, and then every 2 weeks, and then maybe every month. So it's not too bad, right? Like if you can find a salon nearby, then this would be a nice additional step to the nails. And then after that, you can definitely polish your nails as usual. and you can manicure them as usual. There's nothing to remove and there's no maintenance. So I mean, we do this treatment on Mr. Salon Life here because the poor guy, we swatch so many products on his nails, so his nails go through a lot. So I do this weekly because we can, and it does make a difference. But again, using oil is so important, and don't skip that. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? Yes, another thing that really important thing that I want to talk about very quickly, and thank you so much for still listening if you're listening, is a nail polish, because a lot of times people mention that wearing nail polish seems to cause damage, and I do believe them. And I do believe them because I've seen it. So what happens is, I think, is that sometimes like I was mentioning, the cells of the nails just for some reasons are not bonded to itself properly. So they have a weak bonds between themselves. If the nail polish applied on the nail has a stronger bond to those cells, then those cells have to each other. As you're putting pressure or you're bending that nail polish, or if you're hitting your nails and you're wearing that nail polish, in my opinion, it only makes sense that that polish can pull up the layers of the nail and cause surface damage. So investigate, make sure that the polish that you're using is not contributing to the damage, because again, I've seen it too. The most gentle nail polish that is on the market right now, and I know I recommend Dazzle Dry so much, but seriously, there is a difference between that brand and other brands. Is the difference is definitely there, and I'll show you something. This is my this is the Patreon, and this is a story that I wrote about IBX treatment on toenails. Actually, funny that we're talking about it, but surface damage. So this is a regular client of mine, and this was her nails, her poor nails. So you can see at that point we were using definitely different nail polish, so good quality stuff always. And her nails, I think OPI mostly, and her nails were always like this, right? So dry, yes, but why? Because the surface was damaged. So we did IBX treatment. This is right after the treatment, so you can see some improvement. And this is after oil application. So a lot of times when you see the before and after with the IBX treatment is after the oil, which is a bit of not really correct, because this is oil always hides a lot of damage. It kind of seals everything together. So this is the real result. Although the surface of the nail is going to be always, the IBX is going to seal the surface a little bit. So eventually that moisture is going to build up a little bit and hide those little white spots. Okay, so here is, we did the IBX treatment and polished her nails. And then after that, looks like she changed her nail polish. And then after I removed it, you can see there is again damage, right? Surface damage. So around that time, February, March, April or something, I started using Dazzle Dry on my clients for their pedicures. And this is an update from September 2019. And you can see how switching the clients permanently to Dazzle Dry, again, doing one time Dazzle Dry and another polish, another time doesn't work. It has to be consistently Dazzle Dry. And you can see that the surface of the nails is so much better. And there is no oil here to hide any damage. You can see that this is growing out much, much better. So let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so this is the second 2 pedicures. Not sure if making a difference. Better, prep solutions, not super drying. Okay, so you see this is 2 months. So, when you're switching again from another polish to Dazzle Dry, 2 months are not going to make a big difference, especially on toenails because they're growing so slowly. But you can see some good growth, right? And this is September, a year later. So the nail has completely grown out, because it takes us about a year for the toenails to grow out. And you can see how the surface is changed. So there is nothing here that I did other than the change of nail polish. So these are clients that they were coming to me for years and years, every month for pedicures. She hasn't changed anything else. This was her nails a year into her Dazzle Dry. So, and this is consistent with all of my clients, improvement. So I still had, like, I don't want to tell you the Dazzle Dry, I mean, I absolutely love it, but it's not a miracle that will work for everybody, because there's no such a thing in the world. And some people that had major white spots from surface damage, they still had them. I had 2 clients that still had white spots, but they were greatly improved. So there is something when it comes to Dazzle Dry, and I do believe is the lack of nitrocellulose in Dazzle Dry. Somehow nitrocellulose, there's nothing really wrong with nitrocellulose. It makes it's a film forming ingredient. It makes nail polish nice and shiny and smooth. Dazzle Dry doesn't have it because it yellows the nail polish. Sorry, it yellows the nails. It yellows the nails, and I do believe that somehow affects the nails over time. Makes the nails make some surface damage. I don't know. This is what I'm experiencing. So again, if you use nail polish once in a blue moon, and it doesn't really matter if you are using any other polish, because you're not going to see that much surface damage after 1 or 2 applications. But again, for salon owners or for people that use nail polish all the time, Dazzle Dry has been a big improvement in the surface damage. So wrapping this video up, so this would be another thing that I would recommend if you have surface damage due to ridges, again, because those nails are much more prone to damage. What I would do if you don't even want to apply color, because I've heard from some people, one of another viewer of mine was mentioning that without any polish her nails flatten out and they just feel terrible. I do know what she's talking about. I prefer to have something on my nails as well. So if you just want like a clear coat, I would suggest doing Dazzle Dry base coat and top coat, just 1 coat of each, and this would be like a kind of a strengthening layer to the nail, because I find for some people using any other products will sadly contribute to the nail damage. So yes, this concludes this video, and thank you so much for watching it, and thank you so much for your interest in natural nail care. It's absolutely awesome. This is a passion of mine, so I'm glad that I'm not the only one crazy about natural nail care. If you decide to buy the products that I mentioned, the few of them I do have a personal experience with, and I can talk about, but the Carousel liquid and the Derma Nail I don't. So if you decide to buy it, would you be so kind and just keep me updated on how you're doing with these products? So take some before and after pictures maybe, and let me know how they're working for you, because I would really love to do another video discussing these products, and your feedback would be really appreciated. Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon. Keep sending me those pictures. I'll be working on these videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.